going to take a couple of seconds. It's preparing to live stream. Okay, great. And I'll just set up the recording. Got it. Record on the cloud. All right. Have a great session, Rola. I'll meet everybody then. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. I have to say I love the commitment of PowerSkillers. 8:30 on a Saturday morning here, local time, at EST time. And it is wonderful to see you, and I've seen many familiar faces. Thank you for joining us. Before we get into the session, Emily's going to play a video for us, but I know it's going to be worth it for you to have gotten up this early and to listen to this presentation. So we're just going to watch a video and we'll be right back.
Right, so I'd like to recognize, hi everyone, my name is Emily from the Career Advising and Transition Services Office. I'd just like to recognize Ashley. Sorry, just a reminder if you can just mute yourself as a way to, so we can all hear each other. So all good. So I'd like to recognize that our work in Montreal takes place on the unceded Indigenous lands of the Mohawk Nation, and this land is known as a gathering place for many First Nations. And at PowerSkills, we're committed to use the summit as a place of gathering, connection, reconnection to empower voices and perspectives by also providing free and accessible learning opportunities. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Emily. And my apologies, I neglected to introduce myself. My name is Rosalia, and I'm from Career Advising and Transition Services. And that was my wonderful colleague, Emily. We're so happy that you joined us here this morning. The presenter you're going to hear is going to introduce a really incredible initiative that I think you'll find most interesting. I had the pleasure of meeting Rola actually in a class at the School of Continuing Studies. So I love when things are full circle like that. And when she let me know of this initiative, I just thought it was magnificent. So I know she has a lot of interesting things to present and to talk to you about this initiative. So I'm just going to, I'm going to allow Rola to introduce herself. I'll just tell you a little bit about her. So she's a certified human resources professional and member of the Quebec Order of HR since 2016. She holds a graduate certificate in human resource management from McGill University and a master's degree in management of development from Turin University in Italy. So it is my absolute pleasure, and please give a warm welcome to Rola Spaklo. I'm so sorry, Rola. I'm going to try that again. To Rola Spaklo.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and good morning. I know it's a very early time for a Saturday, but things will look good, and there's a lot of sessions later today. Thank you for the invite. Thank you for giving us the platform to talk about the initiatives. I'm currently in Canada, in Montreal. I've been here for around 10 years. I had a break of 2 years. I went to Lebanon, and that is when a lot of issues happened there, economic, social. I'll get to speak about it a little bit. And then I moved back last year, back to Canada. I rejoined McGill University, and we got to connect to present our initiatives. So I'll share my screen. I have a couple of slides to share them, and we can open later on the discussion. If you have any questions, feel free to have them typed in, and I think my colleagues at CATS can help screen them, and if something we've missed, we can go back to it. Okay, Okay, so I just wanted to highlight a little bit about what is disruption, the Lebanese initiatives, connecting the dots, and how to be future ready. For disruption, I think the first thing, if somebody just Google it, one of the things that we would get is disruption means lowering costs. This is one of the definition. This is one of the things that people look at. However, it's important to understand that disruption is also being related on technology. And technology has been playing a big role in that. Disruption is something that is continuous. It's not going to end. It has affected several industries. We're going to focus on the HR aspect. So a lot of buzzwords are going around: disruptive hiring, talent disruptors. And this is something new. I learned about it at one of the sessions this week, that we had speakers that are expert in talent disruptive. So what is it all about? How things are happening? Looking at things 10 years ago, not, or even let's say 3 years ago, and now within the pandemic, several things have happened. Changes are ongoing. The digital technology, artificial intelligence, we no longer send CVs, regular application, it's all online. They've eliminated the middleman, the middle person, let's say, and we no longer have face-to-face interviews. I joined McGill last year. I did my online onboarding. I didn't meet up anybody at the office except for last week when I had my first day at office in physical presence. It's been a year and everything has been online. And truth to be said, things were fine. With Teams, with the meetings, with the follow-up, you feel very comfortable. So it proves that a lot of things can change to the right direction. Yes, there is a lot of things, issues and obstacles. I'll also mention a couple of things about them. We have a lot of things that are related to contingent work, meaning that people can now do casual work, contract work, project-based. It doesn't have to be only on a regular, permanent employment work. Things have led to more of demands from the employee side and not from the employer side. The first time I've heard about adjustment in the workforce was back in the 90s for a UN project. And one researcher has suggested what we call the third choice, which is adapting working conditions to family needs. And it was related to when women went on maternity leave for a short or a year and how they would return. A lot of companies back then, they would refuse them to come because they've been away from the market. Or even if we have mothers that are waiting for their kids to be 3 to 4 years of age, going to school and then joining back the market. So the third option provided an option of not staying home, not going fully to work, but something in the middle, which is a part-time gradual return to work, once a week, once a month, just to get to know what things are happening and then being able to go. So another also choice people provided in economic crisis and with high unemployment rates in countries is, instead of having somebody working on a full-time basis, having two people for the same job on a part-time basis with an overlap of 1 to 2 hours so they can do a proper handover. So these are options, initiatives that have been there for a long time. But again, nowadays with the changes, with the pandemic, we had much more options, much more need. So we're connecting the dots. It's no longer, let's say, job matching nowadays. We used to say recruitment agencies would match an employer with a recruiter, and job seeker with a company, but now we're connecting the dots. We no longer only look for what we call the talent. Nowadays, instead of having acquisitions, mergers, we have acqui-hire. Acqui-hire means that there is a company would come by another company because of its human capital and not because of what they sell, not because of their product, but they need the skills of the people behind them. So remote work is everywhere. It has proved to be rather effective. Nowadays, employees have the power of say. I've heard a lot of companies saying, whatever my employee needs, If he needs a vacation, he needs to be paid overtime, we're there, we will approve. We cannot say no. They have the upper hand nowadays, especially in industries, let's say biotechnology, medical, nurses, or even in the construction field, for example, here in Canada, because people need these people with their skills to be available. It's tough to get new ones, and it's tough to lose them, so they have the upper say. However, because we're doing online work, the employer culture, the culture by itself is no longer existing. We cannot know what the company culture is, we cannot promote it, we cannot have the proper integration. So this has its downside, but we'll look at the bright side, the hope that is there. I always like to take this analogy that a colleague in HR a couple of years ago presented it, and she took it from a training she had. So I don't know if somebody can tell, this is the Queen of Heart, and this is Alice from Wonderland. So this is a scene whereby Alice in Wonderland says, in our country, you generally get to somewhere else if you run very fast for a long time, as we've been doing. And here, the Queen says, a slow sort of a country. Now here, you see, it takes all the running you can do to keep in the same place. If you want to get somewhere else, you must run at least twice as fast. And looking at that and seeing what's happening around, yes, industries, companies, people, parents, everybody is doing twice the running to stay in where they are. And if they want to move forward, we're doing much more. So here it is, the case of Lebanon. I'm sure we have several Lebanese on the call or on the training today. And I'm sure everybody heard about Lebanon, and it happened to be the first anniversary of the explosion that took place on August 1st. So we've been on the news everywhere. So Lebanon has a very high unemployment rate. Before pandemic, before the revolution, we have high graduates, university graduates, estimated around 25,000 a year. A lot of these used to go to the Gulf region. However, there is some instability in the Gulf region. There is new laws for work permit requiring at least 5 years of experience. So unemployment is increasing. It's estimated now at around 40 to 60%. There is no official rate. Economic deterioration, inflation, social distress, increased poverty, political instability, insecurity, you name it. And the pandemic on top, and the revolution, deadlock in politics. Yet there is a will to help, and we have a strong diaspora all over the world, estimated at around 14 million everywhere. And so we have hope, we have initiatives. I'm happy to share about one specific initiative, and I'll also go through another one, jobsforlebanon.com. This is an initiative by individual Lebanese living outside of Lebanon, mainly in the States, have gathered hand to be able to create jobs for Lebanon. They started last January. They officially had their marketing campaign in March. And it's a movement that rallies the global diaspora to create an alternate economy for Lebanon. We have an annual report that I can also send the links to be shared. So around 12 people came together and they wanted to do something for Lebanon. And this is how they started. We have over 900,000 unemployed in Lebanon, and we have this huge community outside of Lebanon. We're trying to connect them. And how we're doing that? There is a success formula that they're looking into. So there is a scalable recruiting product. We have a website, an app powered by smart recruiters that they provided the platform at no cost. And I have to mention, all of the initiatives are free of charge and is run by volunteers. Jobs for Lebanon is a registered NGO in the States, and they work all around. the structure is divided into having ambassadors in around 30 countries, and we have a strong presence all over the world. So we have the product of having this app where people, employers can post, and job seekers can upload their resumes, and they can at the same time match which position they would like to be in. And there is people in the background, volunteer trying to do the matching, working on it. There is viral campaigns. We work a lot on social media. We have over 28K LinkedIn followers. There is around 39 global ambassadors, and around 178 countries have visited Jobs for Lebanon in the last year. So this is a big number as well. So there is a reach to the global network. So this is how it looks. This is the solution. We have find candidates, find jobs. And the aim is actually having people care for employees or job seekers in Lebanon, having them work to a company outside of Lebanon, being paid remotely to have to generate income, to generate fresh money, fresh dollars inflow into Lebanon to help boost a little bit the economy. And it has been, the numbers are excellent for the year one. So around 1,300 jobs were posted within less than a year. And the objective for 2021 is to have around 3,000. By February, or almost, we had around 9,000 candidates who have applied. And the hires now is around 160 for the first year of Jobs for Lebanon. The aim is to reach 1,000 by end of 2021. And there is a lot of work behind the scene on how to do that. I have to be honest and say that since this is a free recruitment platform that matches job seekers and employers, we cannot always track who's hiring, because they can just go into the database, select the candidate, do the interviews, and hire them. So we have a lot of missed opportunities that we cannot follow or track and register, but definitely the numbers are higher than this. So one of the obstacles I have to mention is because we have companies, let's say in Canada or in the States, and you're required to have a SIN number, a social insurance number, or Canadian bank to be able to be paid. So this is hindering the fact that a Canadian company would hire remotely somebody in Lebanon and paying them. But there is a lot of work being done with lawyers to see how we can overlook that, how other options can be created in order to hire the people and pay them through a third party as a consultancy. So some legal work is being done around that. Plus, Jobs for Lebanon have done other than just job referral. Because of the August 4th explosion, a lot of aid and relief have changed. So it's disrupted the original task, for example, and now they moved into relief for a couple of months, but at the same time, the recruitment was running. JFL, Jobs for Lebanon, have also other mission, other roles that they were working in with international partners, like, for example, UNICEF. They have worked with graduate students to provide them with employability, providing them with coaches, mentors, online training, helping them with their career path. And again, the outsourcing is being done ongoingly, regardless of the time of the day of the week, because people, again, they rally everybody around the globe in order to help out. Now, this is something that they're doing. It's great. It's being adjusted. And most of them are people that are very young, fresh graduate with some experience, being mentored with people who have more gurus in the technology, in HR, in marketing. So it's a combination of two. It's amazing how such an initiative run by pure volunteers is able to do a lot of work in a short time, and it's very promising. Now, another initiative I also would like to highlight is Khuburat, which is a local Lebanese also initiative, an online platform helping matching job seekers with employers. This is an NGO that I helped develop when I was in Lebanon 2018, 2019. And their numbers are also excellent for this time of the period. They had from March to July, which is the pandemic time, 1,000 job posted, 265 were hired. And I would add they had 5 people that were given internship. These are either fresh graduate or people in their second or third year of university. And in the database, there was around 1,200 people that have registered. This shows a lot how many people are looking for jobs in this short time. And also if we go further and deduct and see the breakdown and those hired, there is a lot that they were in entry level. They had 70 entry level, mid level 52, senior meaning manager and above around 45 job seekers were hired. The difference between Jobs for Lebanon, if I want to say that, with Khuburat has a wider reach for the population that are not tech savvy, that are not online, because a lot of people, especially with the economic deterioration, lack of electricity, availability on the internet, so they have a bulletin that goes on the WhatsApp that runs viral, and a lot of positions, mainly like elderly helpers, babysitters, tutoring, drivers, these cannot go on the platform because these people do not have actually a CV. So the thing is, we have to cater for all niche of job seekers, especially in economic deterioration. Let's say in the Gulf, when things didn't go so well, we have a lot of people that returned. And this applies to anybody, anywhere in the world. So if we have somebody who's been working for 10 years, comfortable in their comfort zone in a company, and suddenly they're laid off or the company closes, so this is a disruption. What happens to those people who have not had any skill development in the last 10 years, who have not done a CV in the last 10 years? So they're new to the market, they're new to the applicant tracking system applications, online job application, to online recruitment, to interviewing. So all of these have came into, and those local NGOs are providing means, let's say, for example, how to write a CV. They do training, helping the job seekers develop their CV. It's no longer like before, I copy paste my job description and apply, and you could put my achievement, my responsibilities, teaching them what to answer in interviews. So we need to upgrade. And in HR, we have something that is interesting, is every 2 years, anybody in their current job, even if they're secure, even if they don't plan to change, always update your CV, test yourself in the market, just to know what type of skills you have or you lack, in order to be able to be ready for the future. If somebody is working in marketing, for example, and they've always done non-digital marketing, nowadays they will not find jobs. So you have to update your skills, follow the trends, what's around. Nowadays with the pandemic, a lot of free webinars or at low cost training online is available for anybody to shape up their skills. You cannot just wait and things will happen. There is a role. We don't have to run fast. We have to work hard in order to be up to date. I'm sure a lot of people have done training, but we need to also go into the specific or go vertical in our expertise and our work, not just be horizontal and all of that. It is important to check the trends in our environment and our sector of work, to be always competitive and have a chance to be at least interviewed. We cannot guarantee as HR a position for anybody, but we can, if you have the skills and you have a good presentation of yourself on the CV or in an interview. So you can land an interview, you can secure this part, and then it's up to you how you can develop and get a job. There is always a say, is disruption and innovation. Yes, because of the disruption, there was a lot of work that has been done in Lebanon, elsewhere in the country, in other areas of the world, to really to be able to provide services to people who are in need, whether in HR or in any other field. And innovation, we can check with the pandemic what things have developed. And definitely this is not going to end there. Is the new norm? Will it stay there? Other disruptors might come later on, definitely. So we always have to be ready to what will happen next. And a lot of, again, services are available for anybody to develop and be future ready. And I think our next session is going to tackle on this, and all of the sessions in the afternoon at CATS, at the McGill PowerSkills Summit, will provide more tools to be able to be ready. Thank you. I can stop sharing my screen. And if somebody has any questions, clarification.
Thank you so much, Rola. That was, what a fascinating and obviously incredible initiative and far-reaching. That's incredible. So there was some conversation going on in the chat. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Either raise your hand or feel free to go ahead and speak, or you can put it in the chat. So Marion asked, sorry, Marion asked, can you go back to what you said about concerning connecting the dots?
Yes. So connecting the dots is I would say is a new terminology. Before, it used to be you just try to job match. So it's not only I look at the expertise of one person and the need of the company, but there is beyond that, how they can provide a better fit to the company. It's not only education, expertise. I have to see their skills, their soft skills. It's not only about the education. So this is trying to look at more. This is what talent disruptors or talent acquisition expertise they look into. So it's not just a find and match and that's it. It's a more longer process that takes into consideration various aspects.
Wonderful, and that's certainly aligned with what's going on in the job market in general, where soft skills are being more and more valued and more demanded by employers. So it makes sense. And sometimes someone, and we see this at CATS all the time, doesn't maybe seem like a fit based solely on technical skills, but then you can see that if you look at previous experience and soft skills and you can look at some of those things that they end up being a fit. So that's really wonderful that you are doing that as part of this initiative. I have a question for, what has been the biggest challenge for you? Now, I know you're not but as a volunteer ambassador, what has been the biggest challenge for you?
Okay, it's mainly, let's say, two parts. One is having Lebanese outside being convinced of how efficient online and remote work is. It's still something rather new, so there is a lot of hesitance. And the other part is the inability to follow up closely and ensure that we've registered hired people in the database. Unless the company comes back to you and said we did that, unless the job seeker comes, because not everybody will go log into the app or the online and say this person is hired. So this is a challenge. I mean, paperwork or let's say data entry and stuff, people will tend to just put it behind and will not go into it. But I'm sure there is a lot in whichever company we have missed opportunities that are not registered. Again, this is a free service, unpaid for both the job seeker side and the employer side. So there is no commitment for them to come and register it.
And on the other side of that, do you have a place where, whether it's online or, and Emily has a question right after this, do you have a place where you talk about the success stories or showcase the success stories?
Yes, definitely. The social media, Instagram, you have LinkedIn, Facebook, all initiatives are being more vocal because the niche population we look into, let's say graduates 20 to 40, they are very active on the social media, and we can send the links if anybody is interested in that. You can just Google, for example, Khuburat or Jobs for Lebanon, and you will get all of the information available.
Okay, Emily, please go ahead. You have a question?
Rola, thank you so much. I'm blown away. This is an amazing initiative to know about and such a meaningful, important one. I'm so happy that you shared this initiative with us. Well, actually, both initiatives with us, and your role and your whole story was really fascinating. Thank you. I'd love to know. First of all, in terms of LinkedIn, I mean, is LinkedIn present? You had mentioned many people do use social media. Is LinkedIn one of the platforms used? And
Yes.
second, if you can share a bit more volunteer opportunities, how people can get involved.
Yes, definitely. I'll put them in the chat, or I can send it to you if you're gonna send later on the information to participants. So it's Jobs for Lebanon and Khuburat. I can just type here.
Thanks.
That would be great. And actually, we had a question on repeating the name of the other initiative, so and what it means in Arabic.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, thank you.
So Khuburat is mainly like experiences. So it's having everybody's experience, because this is a volunteer work. So when whether it's any company, when it's a new company, but you have a lot of people behind it volunteer. So we say we have a combined years of experience that is over 50 years. So this is, yes, we're young in presence, but with the combined experience of people behind such initiatives, we're over 50 years.
I love how you did that. I think that's wonderful, because sometimes if somebody is young or appears, well, you don't have experience, but I love the idea of having combined experience, because that's so
Exactly.
combined and varied experience, no doubt. So that's wonderful.
Yes, exactly. It enriches the background. It gives you more credibility as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And while you write those in the chat, and thank you for doing that, Rola, for the names of the organizations and how they might be reached. Are there any questions? I know we're over time, and thank you, Rola, for staying a bit over the time that we had scheduled. Any questions or comments before we go? Okay, wonderful. Well, Rola, it has been wonderful. Yeah, maybe if you can write in the chat the name of the other organization. So we have Jobs for Lebanon, and then because it was asked, and I want to make sure I spell it right and get the right link. I want to thank you so much for being part of PowerSkills, for being here early in the morning, and for talking about this amazing initiative. I know we'll follow up with you at CATS, and I'm sure, if this inspired other people, or if you're interested, and you want to connect with Rola, maybe do you want to put your LinkedIn profile also?
Oh, yeah, Emily.
Oh, she already did it? Okay.
Yeah.
How did I miss that?
Proactive.
Thank you, Emily. Yeah, she's quick on the switch. So I'm sure you're fine with people connecting with you, I imagine?
Yes, thank you very much for this opportunity, and looking forward to more networking with everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you. And thank you all for being here this early in the morning. Much appreciated. And we'll see you for the rest of the day here on our last day of PowerSkills for this iteration. So we'll see you later. Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rola. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Good luck.
I'll put up the lineup of events for today right in the chat.
Thank you. Bye-bye.